Yeah, Curtis Franklin, in the commission meeting, was you gonna be able to make it down, or? Yeah, oh, okay, okay, no problem, you bet, yeah, fine. Got one guy to finish up with, he's real quick, and then he'll be down. Hi.
Since Dana is here, can we move him up so we can keep the meeting going?
Yeah, that's fine. We're waiting, Kirk's held up for a little bit. So
Okay.
go ahead, what we got here, monthly update, ongoing budget, so on. So go ahead and,
Guys are out, Aaron Weishofer today at a training, for a Mackers, or LTAP training today, so. I got Mackers meeting coming up tomorrow, Wednesday, planning meeting. We're getting ready to start on the bridges, I guess. As much as I hate to, right now. Everything's pretty well located, I just got a hold of I got 2 open trenches, I got one on Lightning Barn and one on Clopton. Been there for a few weeks, you know, and I don't know, I called the CenturyLink guy and he said that, he just found out that Rocky Mountain had got everything in and ready to splice last Thursday. So, they're gonna have their splicers out next week. And they'll get those 2 spliced up and stuff. I think Carson's done though, but we're gonna start on it tomorrow. I guess I gotta, see where Gordon's at. I gotta get him hauled in there today sometime, I think, and start tearing her up, I guess. But, I don't know. Other than that, that's about what we're doing, besides plowing some snow. Plowed some snow. Sanded some roads. About it. Fun stuff.
Right.
we didn't know just how long it'd be. Kurt and Dana showed up, so we jumped him ahead of you a little bit, so.
That's fine, quite honestly, I didn't even see my name on the agenda, so I apologize.
What's that?
I didn't even see my name on the agenda, so I apologize.
Oh, okay.
And then that, I don't know, did you want to discuss this thing here right now? Does everybody you got sheets on
Yes.
that
Oh, yeah.
dry hollow thing? Did you get one in? I don't know, you already know what it's all about anyway. But, I highlighted that,
Oh,
2
okay.
sections.
Okay. Very good.
But, I don't know, you know, Sherry called me a couple weeks ago and they were trying to get this land thing taken care of. From what I could find on section 32, at the east end of section 32 going up that road, at the end of Bob Davis's first piece, it seems that that road, the county quits there on up to the Hudson place. So you got section 33 and 34, which are Schofields, and you know, they're trying to get that thing taken care of, and what it is, I guess they either gotta get some kind of an easement through there to sell it, or something. We've been maintaining that thing for, I don't know, 28 years I've been here. I mean, we went up and did some widening, it's been quite a few years ago now, 15, 20 years ago maybe. We went up and did some widening up through Schofields and clear up to Bob Davis's Hudson piece right there, just on the west end of section 35, but I think Sherry's maybe wanting to get it declared county, I don't know. And I don't know the process, but all I do know is we have maintained that thing. We've hauled gravel up there and everything, and so I personally don't see a problem declaring it, to be honest with you. You know, I know it's up to you guys kind of, but, you know, you got a public hearing to go through probably and all that stuff, you know, and I don't know.
That isn't county road right now?
No,
I did not know that. I just assumed it was.
so did I. And like I say, we've been maintaining the
I
thing
guess
for,
Bob Davis put a cable across there and locked it there a few years ago.
well, that's up on section 35. That's, east of where we're,
Oh,
we're talking, right at the start of the Hudson place.
Well, according to Ward, when he called me, I thought it was the other way around, the cable's down lower, cause they wouldn't have access up to
Yeah.
there.
See, I never did see that.
Hmm.
But, you know, that 34, no, section 33, that's that's how Ward climbs over on the south side, grain field. And then, to get up to section 34, that's how he gets up to, you know, on the north side. And the south side, because that road kinda goes down into that well and stuff, he's got a well right there.
So they must be talking about, well, I don't know, I'm kinda confused now.
See, at the edge of this.
No, I mean, on what Ward was saying.
Oh, yeah.
About that being locked off, see, and apparently they had talked to Bob, and it sounded like it'd be okay, they could work it out, but,
Oh, maybe something else, then, I don't know.
because, like I told him, I said, most time you're hearing about wanting to close roads, it's not very often you wanna open one up. And so I told him, probably what we'd have to do is to get with Corey and see what the statutes
Actually-
are on it.
We can actually make a road a county road. There's prescriptive use based on the fact that our county has already been maintaining this road. So that goes a long ways into, it's already a public road. We would be taking a public road on private land and making it a county road. But that prescriptive use is what gives us the ability to do it. We still have to do a public hearing. We still have to do another resolution, and read the resolution and have that as part of the public hearing. But apparently the title company will not allow this to proceed unless that is made officially a county road.
Right.
So that's what we're looking at. Ann found a resolution for us to go ahead and copy for this. But based on the fact we already thought it was a county road, it should be fairly easy to put this on the agenda in 2 weeks, have a resolution and get this taken care of.
Yeah, and I don't see a problem with it, you know, as far as maintenance. I mean, 'cause we don't maintain it every single year. You know, we maintain it at least every other year. It kinda just depends on
Yeah, well, if that's
the
the
way things
case,
happen.
see, Warden kept talking about that, where it was locked off, but that's the next section then.
Yeah, that's always been on section 35, they're right on the west end of section 35, right, just as you get into the Hudson place.
Right.
Bob's always had a cable across that. I mean, ever since he's owned that thing, and we have never gone up above that to maintain that. We turn around right there at the cavalry. You can
And
barely turn around, but, you know, we get turned around.
Is this on Dry Hollow?
Yep,
And I would think we just go as far as that cattle cart.
yeah.
Stay with what we've been doing anyway.
I don't think Bob would want anybody going up above that anyway. You know,
And if he wants to ask us, we can, but I
Then
don't
you'll
think
have
we
to
need
declare
to
a
impose
thing.
anything,
yeah, then the whole thing will have to be counted. And
right?
I don't think he wants that,
Yeah, I don't either.
so,
I can't imagine you would.
no, I wouldn't either.
I don't know that we would either.
Well, I
mean, if you're
don't,
not maintaining it up beyond there,
nobody lives up there.
No,
right? Yeah.
ever since
So
Hudson.
we're just
Hudson's the last
talking
ones
about
up there.
sections 33 and 34 essentially,
Yeah.
is all,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's all I could find. Ann and I went, you know, she helped me try to find some stuff the other day, and I mean,
We could
that's
find up to the east side of,
section 32.
yeah, we could find basically the first 5 miles we could find
Yeah.
were county
Is
roads.
this declared a county road for the first 5 miles up there?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah,
Kind of in 2 or 3 different pieces, but it, yeah.
yeah, and it's just, I don't know why we ever did that. The only reason I think that it happened before was because, you know, Bob needed to get some equipment up there. And, I mean, he just always asked us to maintain it, you know, and I mean, that was even when he was commissioner. Now, whether him knowing it was not county road or not, I don't know. I have no idea. Bob's lived there all his life, I can't imagine him not knowing that, but whatever, doesn't make any difference now, so. So, anyway, I guess that's kind of to you guys, it isn't gonna affect us at all, I mean, it's just another couple miles, I mean, you just go up, way up and back, fill some holes, fill some potholes, and whatever, it never gets real bad anymore, I mean, we all, actually quite a bit of lime rock up in there, been quite a few years ago, but still pretty good, so.
Do you guys plow it too?
We normally don't. We normally just plow to, up to
Probably about
South
to the
Hollow right
corrals,
in there,
probably.
because nobody usually goes up above that,
Right.
but kinda depends now, you know, with this shoulder season hunt thing going, you know, we may have to plow, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know.
I have no problem putting together the resolution again, as long as it's treated with the respect that our process is due. But I do want support from this commission before I put in the time to do that. So I know we're not gonna have a vote today because we have to have the public hearing, but I want verbal support from this commission before putting in the time to put together the resolution
Yeah, I think
for
we
that
did.
public
I
hearing.
Yeah.
believe you need a petition from landowners before you do a resolution.
I think we can get that very quickly. So,
There'd only be one
We would-
landowner.
would we need it for any of section 32 or strictly just 34 and 35, or 33 and 34?
Well, I don't know. I don't know the legalities on it. I mean, Bob stops, you know, Bob Davis stops right there at the end of section 32. Got
Okay.
Schofield there. Schofield's, I know, will be for it, and any other land purchaser, which would be, you know, Daniel and whoever, Davis, you know, they'd be for it. I don't
So maybe
know
if we
Bob
just
would be
put
around.
together the extent that we need to address and then send it to those
Check
particular
and figure
landowners
out
and see what happens.
who needs to do a petition and
Okay. All right. Can I
And they've
work
had
with
that-
you two on that?
absolutely.
Thanks.
And they've had that block management up there, you know, now for, was it just this year? 2 years,
On whose?
David, around Schofield's.
I think this is the first year for Schofield's.
Yeah.
Maybe it is the second year, but
Yeah,
it hasn't been very long.
yeah. So, I mean, there've been a lot of people up there now.
So they got access then to get on there. See, that's what he was talking about, because they could have it in their block management.
Yeah, and they've got a sign-up box, you know, right down there, next to that well down there, right at the bottom. I mean, and then that's parking area and everything else right there, so.
Where's the piece of stake there?
It is way back down here.
Oh, I thought there was another piece of stake that cornered Schofield's place.
Well, it's up,
And then over there.
most section 36s are state, right?
Yes, you're right.
Okay, so actually, that one's up at the end of the Hudson place, one of them, and then the other one is down, you know, down on Cedar Hollow there.
Spikers there. right?
Yeah.
Can check
Spikers
with
and-
and
And Dave Shearer there, so.
Jenny, because they have booked on it was,
Absolutely.
probably has some kind of language. If not, I can pull out old ones.
Okay.
All right.
If they have it, it'd be easier. Yeah. Thank you.
So on the resolution, we just had to reopen the road through sections 33 and 34, basically, right?
Yeah, you gotta, it's gotta be declared.
Mhm.
You're not
No, I-
reopening anything, Franklin, you're declaring it a
County
county road if everything works out okay. Which I don't see why it wouldn't, but there's a process it has to be
Yeah,
taken
right,
care of.
right. And so I thought there'd have to be,
Yeah.
so I told Ward, landowners, and the only landowners was him and
Yeah.
Davis.
And remember that last year at that Mackers meeting, you know, we had that roll-law session there that, was it Swingley?
Yeah, Susan Swimley?
Yeah, you know, and she was talking about, you know, the county has got to declare a chunk of road county before it's actually county. You guys gotta declare it. It can't just, even if it's stated as county, I mean, if it isn't declared, it's not county, I guess.
And that's what we're learning here.
Yeah, we may have a whole bunch of roads.
Right.
Cause she said it's kinda like this, she said there's chunks of road all over the state that aren't declared, you know, everybody. they're county, but they're not declared, so. And the commissioners are the only ones that can declare it.
No,
Anyway.
yeah, I think you're right, though, I think this isn't the only one, we
Yeah.
just don't know what they are.
No, and I mean,
This wouldn't have come up if it hadn't been for the bank checking it there.
yeah, really, I mean, nobody, even- I wouldn't have thought about it.
Yeah, it was the title company that found it.
Okay, anything else for Dana? If not, thank
Okay,
you.
You guys have any calls last week?
Not this last week, past week.
Okay.
Yeah,
I appreciate
that-
if you plow up to our cabin at least, up there off Top Dry Creek.
Okay,
So,
you gotta get through this month this week?
I rode my snowmobile in like 15 miles. It's kind of painful that, so you could plow up there, that'd be great.
Oh, yeah, okay,
There's no elk up there, but
okay. I'm surprised that somebody hadn't said something, cause I know they're bringing, I don't know, whether they're bringing cows down there?
he brought
Toby
them down
now?
no, Toby's got all his elk on the Battle Creek side.
Oh, okay, so.
But
yeah,
Gary and Chuck brought his down yesterday,
Okay,
but then there were like, I guess there were like 4 people stuck up there this weekend when my dad went up. So I went up through Battle Creek
oh,
and drove from about 16 there.
do they have this little plow?
They do,
Do they? All the way up to the line?
all the way up to 16 there.
Oh, but not up Dry Creek way.
No,
Oh.
they usually don't ever plow there.
Okay. Well, I don't know, Kurt, we'll have to see.
No, I kinda like it not being plowed. I like being able to get there on my snowmobile.
Yeah,
and then it's people.
alright. Sounds good. So anyway, I'll be back Wednesday, I gotta run up tomorrow morning for that meeting.
Okay.
thanks, Dana.
Yeah.
Okay,
Go ahead.
thank you, Dana. Okay.
I don't even know what I'm here for. I didn't see anything on the deal,
Here, I'll read it.
so. Yeah, why don't you read?
It says, Kirk Flynn, Justice of the Peace, monthly update, ongoing budget review.
I have nothing new to update from last month. I would say that our revenues are up a little bit because there's been a few more citations, but other than that, we haven't had any new expenses that have popped up. We had a couple trials that were scheduled that disappeared, so that saved some money off the budget, so I think we're on track for everything. Other than the publications, which we'll be hit with, I haven't got a bill yet for them, but for all my new books, which will be like the $700, but that's every 2 years and it's expected, so. I know they're behind on sending out the publications, so we probably shouldn't get a bill for it here for the next month or 2. I know they're still working on it, so. But other than that was in the budget and it happens every 2 years, so. Do you guys have any questions for me?
I
I
don't.
have one.
Yeah.
We all got a email, I don't know if you got that, but there was an exit interview with Rowena. Would you work with Debbie on that?
I will,
Or
and
did you get it already?
I have not got with her yet. I didn't know until that email went out that that position was under my office even. So it was actually news to me that that position was under my office. And I guess I haven't got with her yet, but what does she need from me?
Just how to make sure that we work. There was an issue with communication, which probably stems from your not knowing that that was part of your job duties.
It's
So-
something, it was never even told to me that that was a part of the office, which, and I only, has it always been part of the office?
I don't
I
know
don't
the
know.
history of your office to answer that, but basically what we just need to do is make sure that whatever the communication issues were, now that you know, how do we move forward with the new person and make sure that that runs a little bit more smoothly is all.
Has that been advertised yet?
That's up to you as the department head to do the advertising.
Okay.
So
When was her last day? Because I got that she put in her 2 weeks' notice, but is she still here right now, or is she done?
I don't know, that
Because
was,
I talked to Rowena only via short email. I've seen her maybe 3 times since I've been here, so,
And that might be something moving ahead, maybe a monthly meeting, maybe a monthly lunch that you and that new person do, or if you take it over.
well,
But
that was
just
the other
a-
question, I talked to Michelle, and I didn't know whether that was something that I could do myself or
Mm-hmm.
not, but I didn't know if there was an issue with there being a separation there. I didn't want the office to absorb that as part of the job description, though. Understand that, what I'm saying there?
It's already absorbed budgetarily.
I mean absorbed into the position, like as in the Justice of the Peace is now the community service provider as well.
You can make that your own determination. If you have the money in your budget and in a year or two, you find that you want a part-time person doing that, but you have the money, then that's an easy transition to make. Just because you take it over doesn't make it so in perpetuity.
Well, my question was, since that sometimes involves like after-hours stuff, I said I would take that over as extra hours for me. That would be the only way I'd absorb that into my position, is what I'm saying.
You can't get paid if that's what you're asking, because that is double dipping,
Well,
and that's illegal.
that was my question, because it would be taking place on hours that I wasn't on duty.
You're, as an elected official, you're on duty 24/7.
Okay,
So-
then I would say that I do not want the Justice of the Peace office, for that job description to fall into the Justice of the Peace office. I would like to,
It's already there.
I know,
It's-
but I mean, without another position. I don't wanna say that now since Rowena's gone, now we take over all those duties as an added, duty for the office. See what I'm saying?
You want to hire a person to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so all I'm saying is if you decide to go that route, please work with Debbie so you can get a full picture of what the issues were with Rowena,
Okay,
so that you can make sure that doesn't happen with the second person.
because I know Kelsey had considered putting in for that position for extra 8 hours, but now it sounds like she's at the attorney's office now for 8 hours.
And that's between you and Corey.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, so it's up to you on how you want to do that, Kirk.
okay,
All we need to do is the management side of how do we make sure it works? That's your duty, but it's our supervision, if that makes sense. So, what my question is from the management side is, just please work with Debbie so you have a full picture and full understanding, and then maybe put together a plan on how you're going to make sure that communication is open with the next person. And again, just maybe scheduling a once a month meeting or bi-weekly when they
No.
first start.
how long had she done that?
Since before I got
Yeah,
here.
she's been here
10
for several
years.
years.
My
Yes.
question is how hard is it gonna be for me to get somebody hired to do that with an 8 hours? I mean, my question is how hard was it to get somebody in there in the first place? Cause she's been doing it for,
I have no answer to
because
that.
I can see how that would be an issue. Cause who wants to just do, is it 8 hours? Was it slotted for 8 or 10 hours a week? I think it was a 10-hour week job.
Per week,
believe
yeah,
it was-
8 or 10, I don't know. I
Right.
think it was as needed. I don't think there was a guarantee number of hours. But
Well,
again, work with Debbie because she has all that information.
Okay, when I'm done here, I'll just go up and talk to her and see
Okay.
what she needs.
Yeah,
Maybe
that
have a
would be good.
conversation with your predecessor.
She's very hard to get a hold of. So, I can give her a call. I've never spoke with her directly on her phone before. She's very difficult to get a hold of. She communicated with me via email. So, either way.
You know,
I'll-
you might also check with either your association or other JPs. How do they handle it? How does it work for them? They
Well,
might have some answers.
I know that Helena and Bozeman, those are the two JPs that I'm most in touch with, are local ones here, but they actually have a provider that's, they do everything. I mean, they give a referral to the office that handles all the community service for that entire city. So it's not just like somebody who's doing this for a kind of a side gig. it's an actual office, a community service office in both those places. Well, I think that's what the biggest issue was. It was kind of just somebody doing something on the side that kind of made time for it when they made time for it.
What I would suggest is Helen and Bozeman, you know, they're great assets for
Right.
us, and they have a lot of answers, but they're not like us, because they're so big.
Right.
Pend Oreille County, Blaine County, those are two that we go to a lot, because they're our same size, they have very similar valuations, very similar structure. Contact those JPs and see what they do.
Okay.
I think that would
Last
really
question,
help.
how long has that been a separate job under JP's office? Is what I want to know. How long?
Longer than I've been here, so at least 10 years.
Okay.
I don't know how long.
And it's always been, whatever, 10 hours or 40 hours a month or something like that?
I don't believe the job has changed since I've been here, but
Okay.
always I don't know. Before that, I just don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause that's the only issue that I see is trying to find somebody actually who would want to do it, you know, for 10 hours a week, because it's kind of piddly, quite honestly.
And you might find a teacher that's looking
Maybe.
for some extra hours, or,
Maybe my
You know,
wife will
someone
do it.
who's
She needs another
retired?
job.
what's that?
Maybe my wife will do it, she needs another job.
But until then, it does kind of fall to you as
Okay.
default, as the supervisor.
Okay,
But, yeah, you might have an easier time than you think, and it might be really difficult and long, we just don't know.
okay. All right, I'll get with Debbie then.
All right, thanks.
Anything else?
Gibson?
All right, sounds good.
Thanks, Kurt.
Okay.
Thanks, Kurt.
Teresa,
Hi, everyone.
you're on.
So where do I start? Budget-wise, we did have a couple of things that came up that I was unaware of because there were 2- and 3-year contracts through DIS and our super firewall thingy. One was $665 and one was $5-something for antivirus programs and stuff. Those were actually 2- and 3-year contracts, so I was completely blindsided by those. Fortunately, it's not a ton of money, but still money. And so that's really, other than obviously our vaccines are extremely expensive, but in the long run, you know, we doubled to triple that eventually, when our billing is done. Joni's keeping right up on the billing, she's already into October. And the really good news is we've given 427, which the only year that came close to that was 2015 when we had Ebola. And all the vaccinations for Ebola came out and they gave like 489 shots that year. And so just for a normal year, we've given 427 shots, including pneumonia shots, which is unbelievable. That's really good news. For our department, we did raise our vaccination prices this year because we did a survey with Walgreens, Costco, and Walmart, and kind of just went like median in between there. But the high dose is quite expensive, and some places are charging $80 for it. We are charging $45. Our regular vaccines went from $20 to $30. And Costco actually went higher than we did this year, so I think there was only one place that gave them just a few dollars cheaper than we did, and that would be a private pay cost. Of course, our insurance is inflated, just like every other insurance thing is inflated. We pretty much charge whatever the going rate is for that insurance company. And so budget-wise, it's impossible until we start getting that revenue in, which sometimes takes 2 to 3 months for insurance companies to get us paid. But I think it's gonna be a much bigger revenue than we even had last year for flu shots. The other revenue, my foot clinic, and I really thought it would be a good thing, but I didn't think it was gonna be crazy. Last time I was completely booked. I had to turn people away because I can only do so many, and my thumb, like for 2 days, I couldn't hardly move it. Seriously, you guys, clipping toenails with those large clippers, my thumb was so sore, I couldn't even pick up my coffee cup. So I kind of have to limit myself a little bit because I'm the only one doing them, and you can just only do so many. So the first foot clinic, I only had 4 people, and then word of mouth just went, and so then my next one was completely booked. I think my November one, I think I have 1 opening, and December I'm already taking calls for, so I just took one before I left the office. And it's pretty much going word of mouth. I only advertised once. I do have some flyers out around town or whatever, but I only put 1 ad in the paper, and people call and say, I hear you're doing a foot clinic, can I come? And so anyway, that's going great. We've already actually had $300 in revenue, which I think is awesome, because even if we can pay my salary for a couple of days, that's good. So so I'm trying to think of other things I can do that will raise money, but I haven't come up with anything. My husband was teasing me, he's like, well, you cut hair, maybe you could give haircuts. And I said, probably the hairdressers in town wouldn't be too happy about that. So, just busy, giving shots. We had as you probably know from the paper, we had the caravan come down with Blue Cross Blue Shield, and they go all over the state, and anybody that comes in there that can't afford a flu shot, they will pay for it. And everybody that came in that day had insurance except for 3 people, and Blue Cross Blue Shield plays top dollar on those. I also visited with that lady. I'm going to be working with her a little bit because she's the project manager for preventive health for Blue Cross Blue Shield, and she said there's like some mini grants, there's some bigger grants. I might be able to get a grant for Kelly, our hygienist, so I'm just kind of busy to work on it right now, but I am going to work with Jamie a little bit on that. She said, even if I can get you a mini grant to get Kelly started, that would be great. So she said, we have money, and we're willing to, and she said there's no strings attached. There's not like a whole bunch of, like with the state programs where you have to prove that you did this, and this, you know. She said there's just not a lot of stuff that goes along with them. You tell them what you want it for, and then you kind of give them a little report on how things are going, and then at the end you kind of give them another little report, and good to go. So, and that's a grant opportunity I did not know about until I had that thing down there at the city hall. And if you remember that day, it was blizzarding, and she left Helena, and she's like, she called me, she's like, you think I ought to come? And I said, well, I had it in the paper, I had a few people call, they're gonna come, you know. I said, you know, let's just do it. We did 23 people. 23 people.
Wow.
At 10 o'clock, I forgot the registration forms, had to run back to the clinic, and she texted me, and she's like, we got 5 here already. And I thought she was kidding me. I got there and there was 5 people in the van. I was like, woo! And all day long, just people come in. I went outside and gave people shots that, you know, didn't want to get out of their vehicle because of the ice and whatever. Mary Alice was one of them, and she called, and Diana at the city, and she said, just drive right up by the van, Teresa will run out and give you a shot. So it really went well for a terribly blizzardy day. So that was my last, foot clinic, or, flu clinic. I actually did 4 off-site. I went to the school, RY Timber, I did the caravan, I did Townsend Drug for almost a whole day, and where was the other one? And then I did 2 at our clinic, and I think that is probably why our numbers are up so much. You know, some people just stopped by those places or came in the pharmacy and said, oh, they're giving flu shots, so. So I think just getting out in the public really, really helped a lot, so. I haven't had time to even look at our numbers, to be honest with you, but, I know right now it's probably kind of backwards because we had to order so much vaccine. I didn't wanna run out of the HD, and I actually only have 20 doses left, and I ordered 80 more, in between the ones that I pre-booked. So it's just amazing to me. Last year, they sent back 150 doses of the regular flu vaccine, and I only have 70 left.
Wow.
So, and we do get 100% return on those. You know, that's where some of my credits came from this year. But I don't think we're gonna be sending a lot back this year, which is really awesome. So, that's about it. Communicable disease. I wish that was somebody else's department. It takes so much time. Right now I have a Legionella case, which is really rare, and I also have a coccidioidosis case, which is also really rare. A lady had a cyst in her lung, she went to the doctor, she was a former smoker, so she just thought, well, they did an x-ray, they found it, and it was coccidioidosis, which is a fungus, and it caused a cyst in her lung, which is super, it's communicable, it's airborne or waterborne. No idea where she got it, how long it's been there, anything, and so, you know, you gotta deal with Mayo Clinic, Kalispell Regional, the state, and it just takes hours. The Legionella case is actually interstate, and so the state is working on that with Utah, so that one's just kinda on hold for me. But we've had 8 chlamydia cases just in the end of September and October, and 1 Hep C case. And I'm not kidding you guys, they take hours and days and hours, you know, getting records faxed and trying to get a hold of people and trying to get them in to be tested and get treated and all that, yeah. Now I know why other counties have one person that just does that, because it is so time consuming. And when you're right in the middle of flu season, you know, you do something, somebody comes in for a flu shot, you do something, you know, and it's like that all day long. So hopefully, people will quit passing chlamydia around this town.
Right?
Shame on them. So, anyway, public health is very busy right now, so, and we love it, we all do, so, it's going well.
We can tell that you love it.
Yeah.
Because you guys are just hitting home runs after home runs.
Yeah, it's going good, it is, and I think the word got out, you know, that, that things are going well at public health, and, you know, I've been putting in all my ads that were proudly owned by Broadwater County, and people are picking up on that, they really are, and, you know, so, I've heard it over and over this year again, you know, so, yeah, so it's a good deal.
That's excellent. Thank you for everything you do.
So I'll, you know, probably sometime in December get together with Debbie on my budget, but like I said, you know, the return on those insurance claims sometimes takes months, and so our budget, you know, we've been way under budget to begin with. You know, but with buying all the vaccines and stuff right now, I'm sure that fund is kind of upside down, but it'll be threefold when everything comes in, I know it will be, so. And like they said, the only two big expenses that we had that I didn't know about were the firewall and the contract with DIS for the viruses and stuff like that, which we have to have. We're, you know, with all the health information stuff and the privacy stuff, we have to have all that stuff, so. And I know Doug had the same thing, so that sonic firewall,
Yeah.
so. Yep. Any questions?
Not from me,
Me
thank
either.
you.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yes,
Thank
see
you,
you next
Teresa.
time.
Thanks, Teresa. One of the other meetings that I went to that I forgot about is social services. And Teresa gave a report there at social services as well. And not only is that a great group of people doing a lot for our community, but again, Teresa just really shines. The things she's doing for this community are not going unnoticed, and I think she's doing a phenomenal job.
Here, roll the mail, anything else?